Welcome back to UnitedXR Europe. So awesome to see you all here, united by XR. You know, the XR industry is at a critical crossroads. So we need to talk about what's happening. In December 1968, Engelbert introduced the mother of all demos, which laid the foundation for modern personal computing. It was presented on a 2D screen and controlled with a 2D input device, a mouse and a keyboard. And since then, we had to interact with information through a flat interface. It changed the world, but it wasn't natural. It wasn't designed for how our brains work. During that same week, in 1968, another breakthrough demo was presented. Ivan Sutherland demonstrated the principles of spatial computing with a three-dimensional display positioned near the eyes and moves with the head. In a single demo, he invented AR, VR, or spatial computing. And spatial, it's a word I really like because it captures the essence of what's different between this wave of computing and flat computing. And I quote, "The image of an object changes in the same way the real object changes with similar motions of the head." In other words, computing imitates real life. That's a concept I'd bet my career on, and I think many of you did too, right? Why? Because humans are biologically spatial, and so should computing. That's how our brains work. Back in 1968, history had a choice to make: computer in a box or computing that surrounds us, flat computing or spatial computing. So how come we chose the unnatural 2D option? Well, in the words of Tom Furness, the grandfather of VR, we had the dreams, but the tech wasn't there. Since then, a few super smart and extremely tenacious men and women did not wait for history to fix itself. They worked their butts off to advance XR. They were way ahead of their time. We recognize them in the XR Hall of Fame. You have to check out the 111 Hall of Famers just to get a sense of how long this has been and how far we've come. Some of them are here this week, and on Wednesday, in the wrap-up, I'll unveil a new Hall of Famer, so you should definitely stick around. These pioneers believed spatial is more natural than flat. They believed that an inflection point would come, and I believe it too. In fact, in 2013, I made this simple slide. One day, XR devices would replace smartphones. That's crazy, right? How about you all? Do you guys believe an inflection point is inevitable? Make some noise if you are. All right. You're with me, that's good. But does anyone dare to say when this will happen? Well, in that same presentation, I was foolish enough to attempt a prediction. And that was a complete screw-up. 1 billion shipments by 2023? I missed it by a mile. But I learned my lesson. Never, ever try to predict when XR glasses will go mainstream. Since way back, XR pioneers have been promoting this tech as the future. I myself, since I got into XR with the blog, an AR startup, the first AR conference, AWE, I haven't lost a hair since then, by the way, and an XR fund, and over 2 decades of mentoring hundreds of XR startups and companies, I've been championing this idea that XR will shape the future. But today, I have a different message for you. XR is not the future. XR is the present. XR hardware is good enough, and it's widely available. The tools have matured, and AI reduced a lot of the hard work. It's ready for almost any use case. It's not perfect, so what? It's good enough. And it doesn't have to be on our faces all day. Today, we wear for a purpose. And this year, for the first time, I felt confident enough to say, on every stage that would have me, XR, you can say it with me, XR is going mainstream. Well, I see not all of you are sold yet on this idea. That's okay. I have some proof. Today, I'll share with you the state of the XR industry, starting with the main thing on everyone's mind. There's a dark horse. It's stealing all the attention and investments from XR. But it's the best thing that's happened to XR. XR will harness it and ride it straight into the mainstream. Not sure exactly why XR looks like Tron, but hey, I got some AI slop for you today. We all know AI makes XR better, faster, and cheaper. It improves computer vision, it helps understand the world, the real world, and it makes 3D content generation a lot easier. But on the flip side, AI needs XR even more. Some call it AI for the real world, or physical AI. I call it the AI love XR imperative. Because AI ingested all the internet's content to train its models, but now it's running out of new content. It needs real-world data to keep getting smarter and relevant to our world. And XR delivers just that. It arms AI with human senses to access the physical world. Of course, that opened a whole massive can worms of privacy concerns, which I'll talk about later. But everyone needs to understand there's no AI without XR. We all have to scream it from the mountaintops. It must not be ignored by investors, big tech, or brands. And lately, it's been noticed. Andreessen Horowitz, probably the most influential investor out there, is bullish about XR. They claim it's among the most underrated markets. And it's especially promising in verticals that involve a lot of physical world data. Yann LeCun, one of the godfathers of AI, says AI should learn by watching the real world, not reading the internet. It needs to understand reality. And a few companies are already building what you may call large spatial world models, AI that understands actions and reactions in the real world. Yann LeCun, for example, left Meta to start a new company that does exactly that. And John Hanke, CEO of Niantic Spatial, aims to achieve that with what he calls street-smart AI. But there's one AI company that just isn't getting it. Have you seen the OpenAI and John Ives I.O. merger trailer? Cringe alert. We don't know much about their new hardware that they're working on, except that it's not XR glasses, and it's not like some of the bad AR hardware that we've seen recently. What they said just last week is that when you see it, you'll go, oh yeah, that's it, and you want to take a bite out of it. That doesn't help much. What we do know is they're obsessed with the device from the movie, Her. Come on, that's not spatial. They haven't figured out yet that there's no AI without XR. Anyway, with or without OpenAI, XR is going mainstream. Now, I know some industry veterans might be thinking right now, wait, what? We don't feel no mainstream. We're still struggling to grow our businesses. I hear your pain, my friends. XR is tricky. VR World magazine from 30 years ago claimed exactly the same. VR goes mass market, and we all know what happened. Is it different this time? I mean, budgets are still tight, but going mainstream doesn't mean that we're all flush. It means that we're in a new stage, and we need a new mindset. As the saying goes, greatness is built in hard times. And today's conditions are ideal for bold moves. Let me show you what I mean. 2025 was a game-changing year for XR. Our home analyst, Artillery Intelligence, says that the XR market this year is worth almost $30 billion. For reference, that's about the size of the global film industry. And it's growing 10 times faster than the global GDP. After AI, it's the fastest growing tech sector. Big tech companies are locked in a tight race to lead this market. Each player is pushing the other to focus on its strengths. They're all in, investing billions, even after some cuts that we've heard of last week. The only big tech missing is Microsoft, of course. We'll talk about it in a second. The XR race exploded in full force. And I actually have live coverage from the XR racetrack. Let's hear it.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats because we're off to the races. Apple rockets out of the gate with a bold move. They launch the Vision Pro and boom, they're setting a brand new standard for mixed reality. The fans are on their feet, and it looks like Apple's got an early lead in this fast-paced XR showdown. But look out, here comes Meta, the reigning champion. They aren't about to sit back and let Apple run away with this one. Meta teases us with details of their upcoming Quest 3 headset, and the crowd goes wild. Hang on, X-Real's making their move, bursting onto the scene with the X-Real Air Ultra 2. They're in this race to win. Wait a minute. Snap has just entered the race with a brand new version of Spectacles, adding yet another thrilling twist to this high-stakes showdown. And here comes Meta again. They're pulling out all the stops. Meta storms back, launching the Quest 3S, which is officially the most affordable mixed reality headset on the track. And wait, there's more. Meta has just thrown down the gauntlet with a prototype of their Orion AR glasses. They're pulling ahead, ladies and gents, and Apple's in the rear-view mirrors. Could Meta be pushing Apple to rethink their play? Meanwhile, Sony's joining the party with a big swing toward the productivity crowd. They've got a new spatial mixed reality headset lined up, set to launch at year's end. But the race isn't slowing down, folks. HTC and Pico are stepping up. They're a little behind, but they're making up ground, pushing the limits with advanced mixed reality features. And what's this? Samsung is still stretching and warming up. They're cooking up something big with Qualcomm and Google, waiting for the perfect moment to jump into the action. Hold your horses. The trio just jumped into action with a new headset and Android XR. And look behind them, fresh off CES, 16 new AI and smart glasses were launched out of the gate. Hot on their heels comes a stampede of Vision Pro clones, galloping like they've seen the future. The pack charges ahead. Microsoft's nowhere in sight. Word is they've retired and are sipping pina coladas on a beach. It's a nail-biter as we approach the final lap. Meta holds the lead. Apple and Samsung are breathing down their neck, and HTC and Pico are neck and neck in the midfield. Sony's making their move, aiming for a late game splash. Who's going to pull out the big win? In the fast-paced world of XR, it's anyone's game, folks. Buckle up. It's going to be a photo finish.
Woo! Can you feel the intensity now? And since then, we've seen a lot of new releases. This is great for the market and great for customers. In the race, we see a spectrum of XR products, and not all of them are going mainstream. Let's map the categories on this adoption curve. When it reaches 25% of the population, analysts consider it as part of the mainstream. All right, first, mobile AR has come a long way since the IKEA Home app. With 35% of the population, at least in the US, it's deep in the mainstream. Mobile AR experiences today are mind-blowing. People play, shop, socialize, explore, and navigate. It's even in Google Maps. When you look at the younger generation, Gen Z loves shopping in AR. Over 90% do, especially for cosmetics, with hair colors. Remember that forever. All right, next category, VR headsets. They're found under Christmas trees. They're an incredibly giftable device. And Jane Fonda came back from the 80s to sell some fitness in VR. It's even found in courts. I mean, this is in Florida, but it still counts. All right, so VR users are now at 27% of the US population. So that's VR headsets. It is in the mainstream. Moving on to hi-fi mixed reality headsets. These are kind of more advanced than the typical VR. And if you look at the market, the last year and a half or 2 years, You have great mixed reality headsets. All of them are kind of pushing the envelope of what you can do with what I would call AR on VR. And one of the most popular things to do on these new headsets is spatial video, that from now on will be named Spadio. And for those that remember the 80s, I even have a new slogan for that. Spadio killed the video star. Moving on. Next category, smart glasses with no displays, AKA AI glasses. That's the breakout hit with consumers this year. So many are hitting the market, and everyone wants on it. At CES, 16 new smart glasses were launched, and many, many more since then. It's a mix of AR and AI glasses with or without displays. It's the only XR product that got a Super Bowl ad because they're hot. And I'm not just talking about the Chris's. All right, AI glasses are clearly in the emerging popularity segment, dashing into the mainstream. Now, some sticklers may say, hey, this is not XR. But remember, XR is a spectrum from reality to virtuality. And AI glasses react to what's in front of you in reality and augment it. And in that sense, that makes them spatial. All right, switching gears to enterprise. Heads-up displays, like the old Google Glass, RealWear, Vuzix M series, have a strong yet niche niche use for maintenance, remote assistance, logistics. In general, XR in the enterprise is thriving. When you look across all XR devices, the enterprise market is 71% of the global XR revenue. Almost every large business has adopted XR way past the pilot stage. They're seeing proven ROI and are scaling it across the enterprise. Right here at UnitedXR, we have almost 150 enterprises that are participating in the Enterprise VIP program, and many are sharing their success stories on stage. And it's practically in any vertical. All right, back to the XR device spectrum. Another category that saw success in the enterprise is the full-featured, bulky AR glasses like the HoloLens and Magic Leap. But these two, like we saw before, are now retired, and they left a huge hole. But there's many that are working on filling this gap, like Rivet, Digilens, Anduril, and many more. Meanwhile, on the consumer side, new full-featured AR glasses like Snap Spectacles and X-Real are in early adoption. Snap Specs, endorsed by Macron, France's fashion-in-chief, is currently the most full-featured AR glasses in the market. And Snap CEO Evan Spiegel just announced that new consumer glasses will be launched next year. And X-Real, which now runs on Android XR, is approved by the chief of China. I think it's hard to tell by his expression. In any case, this category is generating tons of excitement among developers and creators. And finally, we have two kinds of XR prototypes that look like regular glasses. Call it the stylish full-featured AR glasses with wide field of view and gesture interaction, such as Meta Orion's working prototype, presented over a year ago. It's the most advanced AR glasses ever seen, but it's going to take a few years until it hits the market. And the other exciting prototype is the AR heads-up display with advanced AI interaction like Google Android XR glasses, which now is really close to launch. Both prototypes are giving tremendous energy to this industry. They provide many of the features that we crave in larger headsets in a much lighter, stylish, everyday form factor. And the press attitude has changed overnight. The most exciting tech I've seen in a decade. I hated smart glasses until I tried these. And amazingly, just a couple of months ago, a product in this category went on sale. Meta Ray-Ban display. The Verge calls it the best smart glasses I've ever seen, and I concur. We're still not out of the woods from the culture backlash perspective, having cameras on your face, but it could enter the mainstream real soon. So yeah, we're in a different stage. The proof is clear. Several XR categories have entered the mainstream. Others are sprinting forward. In 5 years, all these categories will be mainstream. Oops. I said I'll never make these predictions again, so please don't tell anybody. But between us, 57 years after the ultimate display demo, technology has caught up to our nature. We interact like humans did in the million years before the mother of all demos. Spatial computing is here. The tech is finally native to us humans. It's a fact. XR is not the future. It's the, you know what, since we're in Brussels, let's try something else, more local. Ceci n'est pas l'avenir, c'est le présent. It's the present. Folks, the stars are aligned. We all need to seize the moment. Are you sold on the mantra yet? Ready to sing it with me? Let's try it. XR is going mainstream. All right, let's try that again. XR is going mainstream. All right, a little bit better. It feels pretty good to say it, I think. But to conquer the mainstream, we need content. And the good news, XR master builders are creating experiences for every person on the planet. Who are these guys? They're designers, developers, creators, hackers, not just XR folks and not just technical folks. They're masters of a domain, of a use case, or a passion. They know their audience so well that they create experiences that are irresistible to their users. But there's a rub. Brands, investors, platforms, governments, they choose who gets funded. And currently, a lot of them are distracted by AI. And that needs to change. They need to understand what we all know. There's no AI without XR. But I see a silver lining. XR master builders are shifting the balance. Their understanding of the users cannot be replicated, not by AI, because it's a feeling. And a feeling is exclusive to humans. Builders are becoming the center of gravity. Platforms and investors need builders to access users. So I have a feeling we'll see more funding coming soon, even here at UnitedXR. And it's why I dubbed this year, 2025, the year of the XR builder. They are the key to bringing XR to everyone. And I have a few stories of builders. Here's the amazing story of a builder, David Lutz, lives not far from here in Belgium. He's a remote-controlled airplane enthusiast. He created a VR training sim. You think it's a niche? No, he got 50,000 downloads. And his users love it so much, they buy Quest headsets just to use the sim. See what I mean by builders shifting the balance? Next, Tetsuya Nonomura. He loves bungee jumping. You know where this is going? He built Bungee Jump VR to help people conquer their fear. 100,000 tried it, many at AWE event in June, and they loved it. And here's the story of a mega successful builder, Ryan Engel. He's a big golfer. He created Golf Plus, a realistic VR game. And it's not for gamers, it's for golfers. A third of his players buys MetaQuest just to play this game, just to play more golf. It's so realistic that players practice at home on specific golf courses before they go on real golf trips. And it's so successful that more rounds are played in Golf Plus every single day than a real golf course sees in a whole year. Just to give you the perspective. Yes, so forget chasing the killer app. As small builders jump into XR and capture their niches, their passion, this is how we bring XR to everyone. And with all that amazing progress, we must not underestimate the impact on privacy. Corporations already gather tons of information about what we do online, but so far, they're much more restricted in tracking what we do offline. Until now. Because with XR, when everything we do in the real world is captured and analyzed on a camera, privacy becomes an even bigger concern. And when you add AI to the mix, it could really be dangerous. It could become the perfect manipulation engine. I mean, take AI agents. They're all the rage right now. And that's scary, right? What if they go rogue and we lose control of our privacy, or much worse? And that's why we have no choice. We must always combine AI with XR. It's how we keep humans at the center. So instead of AI agents, think spatial agents, humans augmented with an intelligent spatial layer. This is what investors and enterprises should be looking for. In 1968, we were facing crossroads, flat computing or spatial computing. In 2025, we're yet again facing a crossroad. Will our future be like the movie I, Robot, a rogue AI dystopia, or iSpatial, humans empowered with spatial AI? What do you say? If you're with me, say it with me. iSpatial, you spatial, we're all spatial. Thank you so much. You're so good. We choose a future where humans are at the center. This time around, the tech is here. And to see it in action, we all came to the right place here at UnitedXR. We have a special program for every group, every individual, all under one big XR roof, staying true to our promise, united by XR. Such a great feeling. Give it up to the 130 enterprises participating in Enterprise VIP program this week. And to over 270 speakers who came here to make you all feel spatial. Give it up to those speakers. And for the first time in a European XR event, we have 167 exhibitors who are bringing their XR goodness to you, to this show. Give them a big round of applause. And a huge thanks to our sponsors who made this event possible. Thank you, sponsors. And above all, I want to thank the UnitedXR team. You are all rock stars. Thank you, people. So, folks, you've seen the proof. You're not waiting for the future, not here, not anywhere, because XR has arrived in all languages. You know there's no AI without XR? You're riding the dark horse, Tron style, and you sing the mantra, or at least some of you. Now let's take XR mainstream. And that was the state of XR. Thank you all very much. Have a great show.